Hey, everybody. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new here. And thank you so much for joining me today. I am really liking the Soul Sturdy Lessons cards by Jane Van Prague. I might be saying his last name wrong, but they're really beautiful cards. And so we're going to get today's topic from the same deck, surrender. Oh my gosh. That is so hard. And yet so rewarding. I can release my need to control. Surrender is something that does not come naturally, at least for me. Um, and I feel like that has been one of my toughest lessons in this lifetime. And for those who are new, I've just come through a journey with uh, treatment for mold toxicity, toxic mold. And during that time, I had so little control over all aspects of my life. And I feel like that was like my PhD in surrender as far as life school goes. Because, like, there was absolute chaos in my life that I could do nothing but kind of pop some popcorn and sit back and watch it play out. Well, let's see what's going to happen because I know what else to do. And at first, my first instinct was struggle, force, try to control, and I was just stressing myself out. And there was really, like, at the end of the day, I had to accept that there's nothing I can do about this. And that is a very humbling moment. Um, Another part of that was being able to accept help from other people. Another very challenging thing. I've always been fiercely independent and self reliant to a fault. To a fault. Uh, those are good qualities if they're in balance. I was not. When we surrender and allow the universe to do what it does, what I learned was that if I would get out of the fucking way, there were miracles that could be accomplished if I would just get my hands out of it. And I am not even joking. What played out for me over the last 10 months was nothing short of mind blowing if you looked at the facts of the situation. It did not look like there was any possible way that I could come through that and be in a better place on the other side of it. It looked like everything had been napalmed and was burning to the ground, and I was going to be left sitting in a pile of ashes. And I was trying desperately to put out the fires and exhausting myself and really just frustrating myself for no reason because I felt like I should be able to do something. Something. And when I realized that, you know what, no, I really can't. And I surrendered and I just gave it to Spirit, Source, God, whatever you believe in as the higher power. If you will take that situation that is overwhelming, that you don't know what to do with, you don't know how it's going to turn out, you don't even know how you're going to get through the next week, and surrender it. Surrender the outcome. The same with we were talking about creating the life of your dreams and the steps you need to take to get there. Surrender the outcome because what I had envisioned and what I was trying to control and manipulate and force in my situation would not have had the outcome that I ended up with by surrendering, by releasing it to the universe and allowing forces to do what they do to where, you know, It was so much better than what I had envisioned, but I would not have received that had I not surrendered. Trust me, I get it. It's so hard in the midst of chaos. We talked about tornadoes. When a tornado comes through your life, uh, that tornado, if you can in some way get yourself in the middle, in the eye of the tornado, get out of the wind, get out of the swirling chaos, sit in the middle and get present, get still, and let it go. Let it go. Now, in the surrendering process, there is still the the universe is going to bring you signs and synchronicities and show you where to take action. That's where we have to be in touch with our intuition. And if we're swirling around in the outer part of the tornado that's got like 130-mile-per-hour winds and flying cows and God knows what else, we won't see it. And so finding that place within where you can get still, trust that there are higher forces at work than what you could ever, manipulate and create through your own mind, through your own force, through your own actions taken just in an attempt to control. When you release and you stay present, instead of worrying about what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, because your mind can feel like that tornado with the what am I going to do. And okay, just bear with me here. That's why that's the cover design for Get Your Shit Together. When I wrote this, that there are times in my life where if you could look inside my brain, it looked like that, and I felt like that. And when we figure out how to calm that, how to get in that eye of the tornado, eye of the hurricane, all around you, the storm is raging out of control, but you're in the middle like, I wonder how this is going to play out. And trusting, knowing, knowing that the universe, God, your higher power, has got this. Your job is just to chill until they tell you to take action. And that's going to come through your intuition. And your intuition is a much softer voice than the part of your brain that is doing that. That shit is loud. It is loud, it's demanding, and it does not like to shut up. And when we are able to quiet that part of the mind and really surrender, it's amazing what can happen when we get our hands out of stuff until we're told to put them in. You can release your need to control when you realize that the only thing you truly have control of is yourself. The more we invest in learning how to master ourselves, the less life impacts us and the more beautiful things come to us that we don't even imagine possible just because we quit fucking with it. And I hate to say, it took me, I'm fast approaching my 50 mark, almost half a century on this planet. And it's only in the last decade that I started really getting a grip on how this stuff worked and not just running myself ragged trying to control everything, which was ridiculous now that I understand that I can't change all of that. All I can change is this. But when I change this, all of that changes too. It's just my perspective of it. But man, is it peaceful? Man, is it peaceful. And if I can choose that over that, hell yeah. So look at ways that you can surrender if you're dealing with things that you just aren't able to see a solution to, that you aren't able to take action on, you feel like there is no answer, let that go to the higher power. There is so much knowledge available that we don't have until we get quiet enough to receive it. And when you're open, when you surrender and you stay open and in that trust, in that surrender, the solutions will come to you. And it will be something subtle like a billboard, a line in a song, an overheard conversation. It might be something random like a cereal box. I mean, you just don't know. But as long as you're in that mindset of open and watching for these signs, it will come, and it will click and be like, I need to do that. And you'll do that. And you won't know what comes after that. But as long as you do that and then stay in that present place, you'll get the next step. And what you'll end up with is going to be so much more amazing than even what you had hoped for. If we get our hands out of what's meant for us, that's happening for us, small daily actions, we want to stay disciplined. We can't just go to bed and hope that if we sleep for the next 6 months, when we wake up, everything will be fine, because it won't. It'll be 6 months more fucked up. That's why staying present is so important. We do have to be aware of the situation and know that, you know, we need to do something. Sometimes that something is just sitting back and waiting and being patient, that perseverance, staying present, watching. And we have to be quiet and still and present to see those things. That's what can be the most challenging part of any of our life situations, where we are just, they always feel so big and they always feel so overwhelming. And when we can take a deep breath and realize that, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big, it's not that important. There are moments in life that, when you have someone that you care about who's very sick, or, your life is just crashing down around you. Yes, that is overwhelming. And it does send us into a spiral. What we have to do is understand that as long as we're spiraling and we're in the tornado, we're completely ineffective at a solution. We're just going to keep spiraling, and that does not help us to stop the spiral. It's getting into that centered place within, with the trust in the universe that there is a solution. If we can surrender our need to control what that outcome is and just say, show me what I need to do. I'm overwhelmed. I have no answers. I don't see a way out of this. I don't see a positive outcome. I don't even know how to get through today. Show me, help me, and stay open. And you'll be amazed at the way things will start to just line up, the synchronicities, the timing, the people that you just happen to come by, the billboard you drove past for the last 3 years. But today you looked at it, and I'll be damned if there's not a phone number to call for the exact thing you need. So, truly, when we can surrender and place our trust in the higher power, it's so freeing. One, we talked about freedom Wednesday. There is a freedom in realizing that we don't have to come up with all the answers. We don't have to try to control everything. As a matter of fact, it turns out a whole hell of a lot better if we don't. That's a lot of freedom right there, and a lot of relief from the stress that we put on ourselves to try to find answers that we don't have, options that we can't see. So surrender. Release the need to control. Realize that, you know what? Not only do you not have to come up with all the answers, They're already out there. You just have to get still so that you can hear them. So, if you are going through something, my heart goes out to you. I know how uh, completely devastating moments in life can be when you're at the end of the rope and it's on fire and you just don't know what to do. And that's when you need to surrender. And it sounds so easy, but our nature is to want to jump back in and do something. And we feel like we need to fix it, stop it, manage it, force it, do it. It's the worst thing we can do. Just step back, have that conversation with the universe. And you don't have to talk to him in any formal kind of way. Your spirit guides, your God, your, whatever you acknowledge as your higher power, they created you, okay? Just be you and say that shit however it comes out. They get you. You were designed that way for a reason. You have a purpose, and they know this. So don't worry about making it pretty. Just say it, put it out there, and truly, you will get your best outcome. So today, I send you love and the strength that it takes to surrender. There is so much strength in surrender. It is not weakness, it is absolute courage to surrender and trust in the higher power. And once you are able to do that, you will be rewarded beyond your wildest dreams with outcomes that you never thought were possible. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon.